Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week where we do battle with the Times Cryptic crossword for the day, solve it live and talk through our thought processes, such as they are, in an effort to hopefully improve everybody's solving. Oh, that's weird. I wasn't touching anything and the screen moved. Now, today's puzzle is by James McGoughey, and I've done at least one James puzzle as part of this Masterclass series before, and I do recall it was fabulous. Brilliant clue writing, and today, I think I dodged a bullet last week actually when I was away. It's only an average difficulty puzzle. Normally Fridays is the hardest of the week. Last week I couldn't do it because I was on holiday, and Mark took up the reins and got John Henderson's beastly puzzle, which was... yeah, that was... I'm quite glad I didn't solve that on the channel, actually, because there were a couple of entries that I would have been struggling for a long time over. But anyway, I'm hoping... Let's actually just have a look at the stats today. Okay, Chloe Hutton is, I think, the first real time there. See, actually, 6 minutes 50 is still... I mean, that'll be much slower than Chloe's sort of average time, I think. Chloe was, I think, came second in last year's Times Crossword Championship. Mystigris is real. Richard, I think... Richard, I'm sure I should know who Richard is. I think I do know. Verlaine is Matthew Marcus. Andrew Fisher. So yeah, it looks like it is somewhat challenging without being monstrous. How do I make that go away? But before we kick off, can I tell you anything else? Yes, I've got one birthday to do today, so I'm going to wish Greg a very happy birthday. Greg, I know it's your birthday because your wife Jen wrote in describing you as being a big crosswording nerd. Well, I'm paraphrasing slightly, but what I took from it is you're just like me, basically. So Greg, I hope you have a great birthday today with, of course, a large slice of heavily iced chocolate cake. And the other thing I will mention is that if you do enjoy very difficult cryptic crosswords, so the listener series, let's go over there and have a quick look. This listener series here, I did solve this puzzle, Listen by Eck, in a series of videos which are available for our patrons over on Patreon. There are a lot of videos and they're all very long, and the puzzle is very, very brilliant, and I really enjoyed it. I do list the listener very rarely nowadays. I used to be hopelessly addicted to it in almost an unhealthy way, but that was really rather special. And actually the feedback on those videos has been so good that I am going to try and do another solve of a listener crossword. I have been tipped the wink. There might be a listener coming up, which is by one of my favourite and most terrifying setters. So I may do the same again. It'll be Patreon only, but do join us over there. There's lots of extra content. And apart from that, nothing else to tell you. So let's get cracking. Let's have a look at today's Times crossword. Let me check I'm not clicking the wrong thing. Oh, have I got a dictionary? Oh, yes, I do. Thank goodness. That's a relief. There's the dictionary. Right. Anyway, is this in the right place on the screen? Yes, let's look. Right, one across. 6 letters. Some forgot Sir Alan turned into Lord. Well, that is fine. That's fine. I can do that. It sounds like it's a reference to Alan Sugar, doesn't it? Alan Sugar, I think, did become Lord Sugar. But of course, first tip when solving cryptic crossword clues: never ever read the surface of the clue and allow it to conjure images in your mind. Those images will almost certainly be unhelpful. Every single one of these clues will have a straightforward definition of the answer. The whole skill is being able to pick out from the clues which part of it is that definition. The rest of the clue, the bit that's not the definition, is what I'll call the recipe. The recipe is going to say, take a tablespoon of this word, take a dash of this word, put them together, anagram them, and you'll get the answer. So let's read this. Do we think, normally the definition is at the start or the end of the clue, so do we think that this 6-letter word means some, or some forgot. I mean, it just doesn't sound right, does it? There aren't many good words that mean those things. So let's have a look at the other side of the clue, lord. We could be looking for a 6-letter word for a lord, and if we were, how would the recipe work? What is the rest of the clue telling us to do? Some forgot Sir Alan turned. Well, this is... there's normally one of these in every Times crossword. I think there can now be 2 if one of them is a reversal, so maybe there will be another one in this one. But this is a hidden. It's a clue where the answer is actually spelt out within the clue itself. So grammatically what we're being told here is to take some of the letters forgot Sir Alan and turn them, reverse them. And if you look inside the string of letters forgot Sir Alan and read from the capital A backwards, A-R-I-S-T-O gives aristo, which I think is like a colloquial form of referring to an aristocrat. So aristo is going to be right there. And the word into, you may be saying, well, what's into doing? Into's a bit like an equal sign. So we take some of the phrase, turn it round, and that's going to equal, it's turned into a word that means lord. So you can think of these clues as equations if you're of a mathematical disposition often. Let's try 2 down. 7 letters. In bed, knackered again. That's a good clue, isn't it? Don't conjure images. That they aren't going to help. In bed, knackered again. Yeah. Well, I think I've got this. Again, we've got to cut the clue. We've got to work out what the definition is. So is it in bed? Is it in? It could just be the word in. Or is it knackered? Or is it again? Well, if you manage to cut the clue after the word bed, I agree with you. I think we're looking for a 7-letter word that means in bed. What does this knackered again question mark mean? The question mark has lots of different meanings in cryptic crosswords, so I'm not going to be able to just say, oh, question marks always mean this. One of the things they can mean is that it's a pun. And I think what this is saying is that, I think the answer is retired. If you're retired, you're in bed. You retire to bed, don't you? Or one certainly used to. I don't know if I've ever heard that expression used in modern parlance, but it is true. And if you're tired, you're knackered. So if you're knackered again, you're retired. And because if we looked under retire in the dictionary, it wouldn't say knackered again. The question mark is there to indicate this is a pun. This is how James, James is saying we could view the word this way. And he's right. And that's rather pretty. And I like it. So let's look at 3 down. 5 letters. Bashful. I'm thinking shy. Painter. Taking hour to finish wine. Okay. I think I've got this one. So, again, make up your minds. Do you think that this is a 5-letter word that means bashful? Does it mean bashful painter? I think we can rule that out, can't we? It's not going to mean bashful painter. There are no words for a bashful painter. Or does it mean wine? Well, I think it probably does mean wine. And I think it's actually a type of grape, this. And I think it's Syrah. Now, how does this work? How does the recipe side of this work? Well, bashful, I think, is shy. Painter. Now, this comes up a lot, so you do need to know this. Abbreviations are important in cryptic crosswords, and if you ever see painter or artist, it's very often RA for Royal Academician. If we go to RA in the dictionary, Royal Academician, a member of the Royal Academy, i.e. an artist or a painter. So we've got shy, RA, taking hour to finish. Well, that's saying take the abbreviation for hour, which is H. Let's go and see if that's justified. It must be justified by the dictionary if you're going to use an abbreviation. There we go. H can be an abbreviation for hour. So take the H to the finish. So rather than the H being in between the S and the Y, it goes to the end of the word. That gives Sera. And if we go in here, we should find, there we go, a grape. The wine made from the grape. From the ancient the ancient Persian city of Shiraz. Where the grape, I've heard of Shiraz as a wine as well. Anyway, there we go. That's how that one works. Let's try 4 down. 3 letters. Spanish go on parts of golf course out of bounds. That's another. James he really does write brilliant clues. Spanish. I want this to be ole. I don't know if it is, but Spanish. You know, if you were at football and you shouted ole, you'd be like, go on. Oh, go on, yes, go on. Parts. Oh, holes. Yeah, no, that's right, it is ole. Okay. So the way they have to cut this, it's beautifully worded, this. So the surface reading of the clue would suggest that the Spanish go on the parts of the golf course that are out of bounds. It's like, Sebi, what are you doing over there? No. But if we cut it in a different place after the word on, Spanish go on, it's saying what is the Spanish translation for the phrase go on, and that's ole. And then the parts of the golf course, holes, out of their bounds. Now the bounds of something can be its boundaries. So we have to envisage that the word holes sort of has two fences being the letters at the start and the end of the word. We remove those, we just get ole. I mean, I'd love to know, actually, if you're new to cryptic crosswords and I'm explaining this, does it sound completely mad? I fear it might. I'm trying to make it clear. I don't know if I'm doing a good job. Anyway, here we go. 10 across, 9 letters. Yet to iron out, effect of bad press. Okay, I've actually got this one. Again, go through the process. Try and work out what you think the definition is. The better you get at that, the better you'll get at solving the clues. Now, I'll tell you that as somebody who's done a lot of puzzles in the past, when I read this clue, I didn't get past the word out. And I knew how it was working. I knew it was an anagram of yet to iron. And I don't know why I knew that, but I did. You just get used to, I think, splitting the clue into, the potential length of the answer. And then when I see the phrase yet to iron, it feels like it's anagram fodder to me. Now, when a cryptic crossword is an anagram, the constructor has to tell you to anagram the letters. And that's what the phrase out is, or the word out is doing. It's saying, take yet to iron and put them out of order. So the other side of the clue is the definition, effect of bad press, ? Now, I think this is notoriety, which might be the effect of bad press, not in the sense the clue's trying to make you think about ironing clothes and giving them a bad press. And that's why the ? is there. Because notoriety is sort of a possible effect of bad press, as in bad press coverage in the newspapers. It's not a necessary result of it, but it's a possible effect of it, and the ? is allowing us to know that fact. Now, should we go for... Let's go for 9 down, because I think it would be useful for 12 across. So 9 down is 8 letters. Nicked supporters upped and ran. Nicked supporters upped and ran. Okay, I haven't got this one. Nicked supporters upped and ran. I feel like I should be able to do that, but I can't. So, okay, we're going to have to go for 12 across, which is 33422. For the love of it, or something. Fellow greeting, attack on castle. In adventurous spirit. Well, I think this does begin with 4, because I think a fort is a castle. For the in adventurous spirit, for the thrill of it, or something, or for, is it for the love? No, it can't be a V there. For the hell of it. It is, because hello is a greeting. Wow. Okay, so in an adventurous spirit would be for the hell of it. How does the wordplay work? How does the recipe give us this? Well, what we've got is fellow, which is a he. A he is a fellow, a man. Greeting, hello. Attack, if you have a fit of something, you have an attack of it. On, castle, fort. So we put he, hello, fit next to fort, and we can create the string for the hell of it, which is going to be right. Let's go back to 9 down then. 8 letters again. So still 8 letters. Nicked supporters. Snaffled. Fled. Yeah. Oh, I should have got that. That's bad. That's bad solving by me, because that's very clear, actually, isn't it? Nicked. If you nick something, you snaffle it, you steal it. Supporters, if we're trying to think, Mark's big tip for solving cryptic crosswords is just to think of short synonyms for every word in the clue. And what's the short synonym you come up with for supporters? The first thing you should have thought of, or I should have thought of, is fans. And they're upped, so it's a reversal of fans, and that would have given you snaff, and then I would have got snaffled. But I failed to do this, and that's poor. So snaff, and then obviously if you fled, you ran, and snaffled is going to be correct. Let's try this one and see if it's laden or ladle. 14 across, 5 letters. Oh, swimming, lidos then maybe, or lidos. I never know whether it's lidos or lidos. These are the questions that we ponder in life. Swimming beaches west of Deal, that's where I'm going at the weekend. Swimming beaches west of Deal, covered with sewage from east. The west of Deal must be saying the west side of the word Deal, which is D. And that's covered with sewage, which is soil, from the east. So the word soil for sewage is reversed. It goes from the east to the west rather than from the west to the east, which is how our normal reading order would go. That covers up the D. We get lidos or let's see what I'm never very good at reading the pronunciation guides. Lido, isn't it? Isn't that E? That's sort of an E sound, I think. So Lido is probably right. Now, should we go? We could go. Let's go 18 across. 9 letters. I'm immediately thinking anagram. All I've done is seen the word adjustment. And obviously if something is adjusted, it might be changed somehow. So we should immediately be thinking of an anagram. Adjustment to dole is big. Well, dole is big is 9 letters. So almost certainly this is an anagram. An inconvenience. If you inconvenience someone, you disoblige them. So we could do that one. Now look, we've got a choice of starting letters. Let's go for 13 down. 7-4. Scavenger. Slipping back off bin bag in city. Scavenger. No, I was thinking hamster. Hamsters aren't really scavengers, are they? Scavenger. Seagull. Slipping back off bin bag in city. Back off bin bag. That's a really strange phrase. It makes me think, do we take the back letter off the word bin bag? Is that G? Slipping, erring, herring, herring gull is the answer there. I've had to really sort of try and pass the clue to understand that. It's a beautiful clue. So so we're looking for the name of a scavenger. A herring gull must be a scavenging seagull, I think. Slipping. If you're slipping, You're making a mistake. You're erring. The back of the word bin back is indeed the G. It's that G. And that all goes in a 4-letter city, and the city is Hull. And we get herringull, which must be the answer. Should we go for 5 down? This would be royal or loyal something. 5, 6. Bill's okay, sadly driven after Oscar's taken by railway. I haven't got this one yet. I think it's an anagram, isn't it? Is that a bad thing to think? Taken by railway. I don't know. I thought maybe the phrase Bill's okay sadly is 12 letters long. And that's driven. I think driven can be an anagram indicator. You know, you sort of, if you drive something somewhere, you move it, don't you? After Oscar's taken. Now, it is useful when you're doing your cryptic crosswords to know the International Phonetic Alphabet. And if we look under Oscar, we will see it'll talk about the code word for the letter O. So like, you know, Bravo, Juliet, words like this, they have an associated letter. So I'm thinking we might have to take O out of Bill's okay sadly, so we just get Bill's K sadly. Oh no, it's not. There's an E in it. Oh, that's not going to work then. So I'm totally wrong. Okay, so this must be the name of a bill then, is it? Oh, Royal Assent. Bill's okay. Oh wow, that's clever. Not of me, I hasten to add. I was slow to that, but Bill's okay is not referring to your friend Bill, who's finally okay again. No. A finance bill, for example, when a bill goes through Parliament, it has to be reviewed, I think 3 times by the House of Commons, then 3 times by the House of Lords, and then, if all of that goes well, it receives something called a royal assent, which changes the bill into an act. And so a bill's okay, I think, is royal assent. Now, I don't understand the rest of this yet. Sadly driven. Driven might be sent. Oh, alas. Alas is sadly. Driven is sent. After, yeah, that's lovely. So after Oscar, O has been taken, i.e. surrounded by, RY, which it won't surprise you to know is an abbreviation for a railway. That's lovely. Very clever. Royal assent. I wasn't very quick to it, but I got it. Right, let's try 15 down. 9 letters, beginning with S. Booming speaker. Upset coach. And umpire around court. Well, that's okay. I think we're lucky here with the letters we've got at the start. So again, do the exercise. What do you think? Where are we splitting the clue? And you may already know the answer to this one. If you do know the answer, work out why it's the answer. Check the recipe is giving what you want to enter. And a booming speaker, I think, is a subwoofer. Now, how do we get subwoofer from upset coach and umpire around court? Well, if you upset a coach, a coach is a bus. So we reverse the word bus. And we reverse an umpire. That's a ref, as in a referee. And we put that around a court, not a tennis court, but if you court someone in a romantic sense, you woo them. So that's what woo's doing in the middle of that one. Through the something. Let's have a look at 22 across. 734. How cocaine gets in through the nose. Sometimes at high rate. I don't know why I said it like that, as if I have personal experience of, which I don't. I was going to say alas, but no, not alas. I'm quite pleased I don't. How cocaine gets in, sometimes at high rate. Why is it through the nose? sometimes at high rate. Maybe it's not, it's probably through the something. How cocaine gets in. Through. Sorry, I know I'm being dumb here. Through the nose. I don't know. I need to think about that one. I know I'm missing the point of it, but I still think it might be through the nose. I just don't understand why. Let's try 19 down. 7 letters. African. Unused to water, has capsized out of trim yacht. African, unused to water, has capsized out of trim yacht. What is that talking about? I mean, I think this is going to be the name of an African, like, I don't know, Somali or something like that. Unused to water. If you're unused to water, what are you? You're dry. Has capsized as well. Saharan. Ah, okay. I don't know why, but I think it might be Saharan. Has capsized is just saying reverse the word has. Out of trim. Yacht. African unused to water might be the definition then, because obviously the Sahara Desert it's a desert. There ain't much water there. So I've got to work out why Aran, A-R-A-N, has capsized out of trim yacht. Is this going to be... I'm not very good at you. Marina or marine? No, because there's no I in Aran. There's going to be the name of a yacht, isn't it? It's going to be blank A-R-A-N blank, I think. I'm just wondering, because if the trim of something is its sort of edge, isn't it? In an embroidery sense. So I think this might be a word for a yacht, which I should know and I'm just not thinking of. Let me just think. Let me just give it a moment's thought. Come on, Maram. No, I don't know. Para. I don't. Sad. Why can't I think of it? That's awful. I can't think of it, but I think it's a word for a yacht. I certainly am very sure the answer is Saharan, and I think that the Aran bit of it, out of trim yacht, catamaran, trimaran. Oh, that's very clever. Okay, no, so it wasn't trim as in embroidery. It was trim as in the word trim. So a trimaran is a yacht. Take the trim out, you get Aran. Oh, goodness. Okay, so it's... I mean, the reason that's slightly difficult... I know, there's no reason it's slightly difficult. That's just me being imbecilic. But the reason I found it slightly difficult is that when you have to do sort of a subtraction, when you have to subtract half the word, it gets difficult. Anyway, is this serif, maybe? 5 letters, 25 across. Line at end of letter. Serif looks good, doesn't it? Triggers turning over. Triggers is fires, so it is serif, which is one of those squiggles. Let's properly define the squiggle. A short decorative foot at the end of a stroke on a printed character. It should give you an example, shouldn't it? But it decides not to. So what's this one? As is, maybe 24 down. 2-2. Ace is overturned with loud. You cannot be serious, as if. Ace is A. That's from bridge scoring, the card. Is overturned. Well, let's reverse is. With loud, if you were looking at a musical score, F would indicate play loudly. So it looks like we've got funeral at 28 across here. We've been really lucky with some of the checking letters. But let's see, 7 across time 28 across 7 letters. Time left after sport for passing practice. Yeah, it's a very cleverly worded clue. We're so lucky to have these checking letters, because the thought that I would read for passing practice and think, oh, that's defining funeral is for the birds. I would not think that, but now I can think it because it's pretty obvious. So yes, the practice, as in the sort of the custom that you would go through on the passing, on the death of somebody, is a funeral. And how does the recipe work? Time is era, left is L, and that goes all after fun, which is sport. So there we go. So we've done quite well on the sort of west side of the grid. It's very much a west side story, isn't it, at the moment? Have we looked at that one? No. Right, let's do it. I think it's going to be ransack. It probably isn't, but that's what I'm going to guess. 5 across 7 letters, beginning with R. Rifle fire has spread to the front. Yeah, I think that's right. There's another it's so well worded as a clue. Rifle fire has spread to the front, indicating or hinting at a military front. But actually, it is ransack. If you rifle through someone's belongings, you ransack them. So rifle and ransack are the sort of definitional parts of this. Fire, if you fire someone from a job, you sack them. And then we want a word for has spread to go to the front. Now, if colour has spread, it's ran, hasn't it? The colours ran in that piece of clothing. So has spread, I think, is ran. And then we get ransack. And we're off and running on the east side now. Let's go for 16 across 9 letters. Dispatch, delicate, candle. I thought the first thing I thought was rose water. It's not rose water. Dispatch, delicate, candle. Why can't I get this? Dispatch. If you dispatch something, you send it. You I don't know. Delicate. Why can't I get that? Candle. Light. I don't know. Taper. Sconce. I don't know what that one is. Let's try 6 down. 2-7. Simple, impressive, housing for millions. I don't know what this is, but I quite like the idea that it might have prom in the middle of it. That's what I'm thinking. No promise? No. Impressive. The way I was getting prom was I was thinking if there was a word for impressive that housed, that surrounded a phrase that meant 4 millions. 4, if you're for something, you're pro it. And millions can be abbreviated to M. So that's why I was thinking of prom in the middle. Simple. I think it's going to be no strings or something, isn't it? But it's not that. No. And impressive then is going to be, I imagine, a word beginning with N-O. Impressive. I don't know what that is. Okay, this is going worse now. Right, 7 down, and it is 7 letters. Affectionate, seal, burdened by publicity. Oh, it is. Goodness me. Right. I mean, my first thought here was that this could be the word adoring. And I think it is. But it's slightly difficult to see why. Because you have to know, I think, and I only vaguely know this, that an O-ring is some sort of seal. So I think this is adoring, with publicity being an advert, burdening, so weighing down, an O-ring. So we've got to look at O-ring, because that's a weird expression. Is it got a hyphen or something? O-ring, a toroidal ring, usually of circular cross-section, used as an air or oil seal. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be correct there. Let's have a look at 8 down. 4 letters. Recognized antelope by one of its sounds. Wow. Okay. Well, this has got me thinking. So, have you solved this one? Where are you cutting the clue? If you're cutting it after the word recognized, well done, that's correct. We need a 4-letter word which means recognized. And if you've got that far, you're probably thinking it's the word knew. If you knew something, you recognized it. Now, I think that this is referring to the fact that this phrase by one of its sounds is lovely. It's indicating it's a homophone. And it's a homophone of this word, GNU, or I believe it is meant to be pronounced new. So we'll check this in the dictionary in a minute. But the GNU, it just about can sound the same as new, can't it? I mean, new and new. Let's have a look. There we go. New or new, or humorously GNU. And it's not humorous. Everybody says GNU just normally, but anyway, it is really a new or a new. So that's what it's referring to, one of its sounds, because it's one of its phonetic sounds. And obviously, if we spell new differently, it can be spelled new. K-N-E-W. That sentence makes no sense, but you know what I mean. And it reminds me of one of my favourite sentences, which is the sentence buffalo, 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 buffalo. Buffalo, 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 buffalo. And I'll leave that as an exercise to the reader or the watcher to know why that's a sentence. And if I'd added another buffalo, it would have been a correct sentence as well, of course. And the same is true of a word like smelt. Smelt, 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 smelt is a valid sentence. Anyway, 11 across. Common type of 5 letters. Common type of piano part. Common type of piano part. Oh, no, okay. So here, again, try and split the clue up. If you split it after the word type, you're correct. Here, the word of, though, is doing the duty of the equal sign. So here we've got a sort of equation. We've got common type equals piano. Well, we saw loud for F down here. Piano is P. And plus a 4-letter word that means part. And a part in a play, you play a role. So, and a prole is a common type of person. So this does look like simple, no problem. Oh, no, noble. Oh, I've got it wrong. Okay, it's no problem. I was trying to put the M in the middle, and I shouldn't have done that. So the way it works actually is impressive is noble. That houses pro, a word that means for, and then the millions just pops in at the bottom to complete the recipe. And we get no problem if something as simple as no. Oh, this does look like rose light then, or delicate. Dispatch. Delicate candle. Delicate. You want that to be slight, don't you? Or I do. Have I typed one of these in wrongly? I don't like the fact that I'm sure this is going to be light, and then I don't know this word. Maybe delicate is light. Dispatch. So I need a 4-letter word which means dispatch. R blank S blank. The whole thing is going to be the name of a candle. Oh, rush. If you do something, yeah, rush light. That feels like something I've heard of vaguely. If you dispatch, if you do something with dispatch, do you do it in a rush? Yeah, I'm not certain about that at all, but I think I've heard of a rush light. So, how sure am I? Am I going to lock that in? I think I am sure. My brain is telling me to be sure, so let's have a look. Rush. Oh no. Oh no, it is there. It's there. I just can't see it. There. Rush light. A candle. Wow. That's not that easy, is it? It's a funny word, that. So, dispatch, if we go to that. Yeah, to perform or deal with speedily. Very much to rush, then. To rush and light. Rush light is the answer. Right, let's try 20 across. 5 letters. Underground hacker is under 18 reportedly. Okay, let's make a decision about where we're cutting the clue here. I mean, I think it must be after the word underground. I'm thinking, is the answer metro? Because that's the name of the sort of Spanish, French underground. Metro. Why? Hacker is under 18 reportedly. Metro. No. Is it minor or something? Oh, underground hacker. Oh, that's sick. Right, I've totally misled you. Okay, that's brilliant. It's a brilliant clue. And yeah, I've been got here. It is not metro, because I cut the clue in the wrong place. I should have cut the clue after hacker, because we are looking for the name of somebody who hacks underground, not in the sense of hacking a computer, but with a sort of pick. In the olden days, and perhaps even in the modern world in some places, a miner is somebody who is an underground hacker in at least some sense. And a miner, the word I've just put there, miner, sounds the same as that word, minor, which is somebody who's under 18. So it's a homophone for minor with an O. Very good clue, and it got me. Now we're going to find out about this through the nose. If it's through the nose, this is an E. So 17 down, 5-3. Oddly stranded in that place with river rising. Row across regularly. Oddly stranded, 3. I want this to be something like... Well, I think it's 3 something. And the way I'm getting that is in that place is there, isn't it? And that has R, which is a valid abbreviation for river, rising in the word. So it moves up a place. And that gives you the word 3. Now, that implies that this 3-letter bit at the bottom, the recipe for that is row across regularly. I was wondering whether that could be or. Row across. 3 oar. Is that a phrase that means you get a 3-oared boat or something? Is that oddly strand? To strand? Is that to oar a boat? I don't think it's right. Oddly stranded. 3. I don't know actually. I'm not sure. So we might have to get this letter. Let's try 26. 9 letters. Clear system of exchanges applied to Tallinn's University. Oh, goodness. Clear system of exchanges. Clear. Uni. Oh, I don't know. Let's try 27 down. 3 letters. Kind KC yields initial point. Yeah. Okay. So that one, a KC is a King's Council. And colloquially, they're sometimes called silks. So a silk, if we take the initial point, the initial compass point, the S, off the word silk, we can create ilk, which is a kind of something. The kind of it is its ilk. Now let's try 29 across, beginning with K, 6 letters. Hitman killer gets Tesla for £1 in good condition. I think that's kilter. So a hitman is a killer, and that gets T, which is a valid abbreviation for Tesla, instead of one of its pounds. Now L is an abbreviation for pound. You might see that in a recipe. So, although actually no, maybe not. Maybe LB is pound as in weight. Maybe L is pound as in pound sterling. But anyway, that's how it works. And kilter is, if you're in fine kilter, you're in good condition. Let's go for this one. It must begin with E, mustn't it? Right, 5 letters. That must be easel. Yes, stand when fish bites. So again, it conjures up a nice image if you think about the surface. But an eel there is a fish, and that has bitten the word as, which means when. So easel. So this is through. I think it's through the nose. If you pay through the nose. Oh yeah. If you pay through the nose for something, it means you overpay for it. So it has a high rate. Yeah, okay, so high rate I thought it was referring to speed. It's not, it's referring to price. And through the nose is how you might take cocaine. So through the nose is correct there. And 21 down, 7 letters. Bananas eaten on delivery yesterday. Bananas. Yes, that's lovely. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. Okay, so cut the clue where you think it should be cut. Well done if you get this one. You have to cut it after the word on. Because bananas here is actually an anagram indicator. If something goes bananas, it goes mad. So the letters of eaten on go mad. We anagram them, and then we can create neonate, which is a sort of posh word for a new baby, which would be a delivery that's happened yesterday. That's very, very clever. Not of me. Now we've got this. Oh, now I've got to get this one. Then clear. Uninstall. Oh. No, I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a hidden, but uninstall I quite like as the answer there. I don't know what this one is, this one coming down, but if you uninstall software, you clear the system, don't you? Of exchanges applied. Oh, it's not an anagram of Tallinn's U, is it? Yes, it is. Yes, okay, so we exchanges applied to Tallinn's. Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's even cleverer than that. Yeah, no, I think it is just exchange a couple of letters in the string Tallinn's U, and you can create uninstall, which is to clear the system. So that's good. That's good. And now we've just got, so it's not 3 or, it's 3 something. Oddly stranded. 3 ply. Yeah, ply. If you ply, yeah, I think if you ply a furrow or something, you do it repeatedly. So row across regularly might be to you ply a trade, you do something regularly, row across regularly, you ply it. So 3 ply is going to be correct. And I think that we have finished the puzzle. Let's have a look. Submit without leaderboard. We weren't racing. And yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Very nice, James, as always. Another stellar example. I mean, it's a great puzzle, that, because it's not monstrously hard, but it's incredibly well written. And there's loads you can learn from it without having to, you know, there are only a couple of difficult pieces of vocabulary. Yeah, just a very enjoyable puzzle indeed. Now, I will just have a quick go at the quick cryptic. Let me see if I can do yourself any justice with this. By Pedro, piano in bossa nova style, arrangement of music secures band's last award of sales. What? I have no idea. Weariness leads us carelessly to accept it. Oh no, it's a terrible start. Paid out for church, no longer a major influence. Oh, this is a disaster. Bishop, pawn, then rook. I end chess game. Mate. Primate. Okay. Let's just go through them in order. Ape. Copper returning to apprehend him. Don't know. Loathing. New articles about function. I'm sure that's going to have sin in the middle of it. What was this one? Paid out for church. No longer a major influence. Spent force. Yeah, that is right. Goodness me. So what's this then? New articles. Loathing. I should be able to get that. Deal with all competitors in competition. Field questions. Impression obtained from church, possibly causing friction. Rubbing? Yeah, I think you get rubbing in church. Enlarge limbs after recasting controversial sculptors' Elgin marbles. Okay, so we've got a couple around. That must be Dane. Yeah. This must be Beg, probably. This one, Enigma. Yeah, it's an anagram. Indifferent regarding nerves. Getting to neutral. Have I just spelt that wrong? I think I have. Runs tavern in centre. Nonsense. Nonsense. Oh, I should be able to do that. Can't. Pleasure trip. Abandoned by Jack. Jolly. Oh. Jaunt. What is this then? Nonce rhubarb. Is what I think we're after. British and French article. I state. French article. Is it Brunei? I think it is. What can be considered bliss? Ignorance, I would think. I'm showing a lot of ignorance here. Chopped up pear surrounded by cold cheese. Carefully, is it? Okay, it might not be. That's a total guess. I think it is chili, yeah. Ape, copper returning to apprehend him. Oh, I don't know. Oh, what's this one? Ending in... Oh, compact disc or something? Band's last. Is it platinum? Bossa nova style is something to do with Latin. Platinum disc I'm going to go for. That's not easy. Reserve, that's ice. I'm repeatedly upset about Impressionist must be mimic. Ape. Copper. Returning to chimp. That's clever. Contend. Company. Favoured. Blocking the writer. Contend is compete, I think. Pet in the middle there. Nickel. I hope that's correct. Metal, prison, cell, yeah. Row of hat must be terrace. Ace, yes, T-A-R. Employer, return CV after dismissal. Resume, so it's user. Weariness, lassitude. And we've got one more. Loathing, new articles about function. Nausea. Oh, nausea is nausea. Wow, that was much harder than much easier than I made it look. But we got it done. And I'm going to shudder. Under 2 minutes is sick for that. That's really quick. Although I did beat John. John is a fabulous solver. John Delphin has won the American Times crossword tournament about a gazillion times. So I could take a small amount of solace from that. Anyway, there we go. That's another edition of the Masterclass, such as it is. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did. Do like and subscribe if you possibly can and help us with the algorithm. We'd be most appreciative of that. And we'll be back later with another 2 editions of Cracking the Cryptic.